Golf Central on YouTube is brought to you by the new Chrome Tour golf ball from Callaway.
Scottie Scheffler last year, PGA Championship, Quail Hollow, joining Jack and Tiger as the only player since World War II to reach 15 PGA Tour victories and 3 majors before turning 29. Major number 4 2 months later at the Open. 2026 could be historic. If he wins the U.S. Open on his 30th birthday, he will be the 7th to have completed the career Grand Slam. This is a cool moment in the lead up to that PGA Championship in North Carolina. NASCAR driver William Byron is a golf nut and teed it up at Quail with fellow driver Kyle Larson. Byron had mentioned previously how much he likes Scottie Scheffler's mindset. It's a pretty good position right there. And William also following a few other players on tour. He's a fan of Jordan Spieth and Justin Thomas and Rory McIlroy. He's a superstar in NASCAR. 2024, he won the sport's biggest race, Daytona 500, for the first time. Started at the back of the field in a backup car. Only led 4 laps. But at the end, that was enough. And then 2025 followed up his win by defending his title. And remember, it is their Masters. After a lengthy weather delay, then a late crash, took advantage, took the checkered flag, just the 5th in the 67-year history of the great race to win back-to-back. And the others, how's this? Richard Petty, Cale Yarborough, Sterling Marlin, and Denny Hamlin. So 2-time defending Daytona champ, 28 years old, from Charlotte, North Carolina, in the number 24 Hendrick Motorsports, previously driven by Jeff Gordon. He is a versatile driver who has won big and won at every level. William Byron has joined us now. William, good to see you. I was having lunch. I was having lunch with my pal, your buddy Lee Diffie, the voice of NASCAR, who's so good. Lee said to me, "You need to get William on Golf Channel. He loves the game, and he's talked about how much he admires Scottie Scheffler." So let's start right there. What is it about Scottie's approach, William, that has your attention?
Yeah, I mean, I love watching golf and love watching the Golf Channel too. So watched a lot over the holidays. But yeah, it honestly, for me, I mean, watching Scottie, I think just hearing his mindset and some of the things he's talked about and how he kind of keeps things in perspective. And for me, he's very process driven, and I feel like that's a huge asset and important thing as an athlete, is just to focus on your process and enjoy that aspect of it. And I feel like the results come from that. So I enjoy kind of watching how he plays. I watched a video with Ted Scott, his caddy, over the holidays, kind of talking through his mindset. So it's cool to watch them work.
William, all high-level athletes deal with pressure. It's different in your sport. A miscue, we know, could be dire at 200 miles an hour. Help those of us who are comfortable cruising at 70 understand just how you handle that.
Honestly, for me on the racetrack, and I think a lot of my competitors would say the same thing, is it slows down when you're on the racetrack. I think the slower things can happen, and the more you can anticipate, the better you are. So for me, I'm never worried about crashing because, I'm always thinking about the next move. And a lot of times you see crashes coming from a long ways away just because of maybe a mistake you make or a decision you make. So yeah, I mean, it sounds weird, but you have time to prepare in those moments, and you just try to go out there and think about, stay present, focused, and think about what it takes to make the next decision.
It's easy in golf to see the difference in venues. Sometimes in our sport, they are referred to as tracks. Pebbles different than Augusta, which is different than Shinnecock Hills. In your sport, to the untrained eye, it might appear that a track is a track is a track, but obviously that's not the case. So what makes, for example, Daytona different than Darlington, than Talladega?
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of intricate differences. I think the biggest thing and the biggest factor is how banked the track is and how narrow it is. So you talked about Darlington. Darlington's a place that is about 1.5 lanes wide. So if you're driving down the highway, it's basically that's all you have to work with. That's, between you and the wall. So at that place in particular, it's very slick as well. So that the pavement is very old and has a lot of bumps and cracks to it. So you have to really finesse your way around. It's probably similar to chipping or putting, in golf. And And then Daytona is a place that's all about speed. So, you're trying to draft and try to go as fast as you can. So, I think those are the big differences. And each track, I mean, it definitely from afar looks the same or similar, but for us in the race car, it's very different. So, we have to approach them with different techniques.
Race car drivers are a bit like golfers in that they're not traditionally thought of as athletes the way football, basketball, baseball players are. In what ways that we might not know are you guys athletes?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I'm a big fitness kind of junkie when it comes. I wear the Whoop band all the time, and when I'm in the race car, that's the biggest workout I get all week. Is just my heart rate kind of lives around 150 beats per minute, and I'm constantly having to control my breathing. And so, for us, it's a lot like flying a fighter jet or something. You're constantly under G load, so you're constantly fighting the natural forces of the car wanting to push you out the side of it. So just being able to maintain that position and make little micro adjustments with your feet and with your hands is the biggest key. So it's very there's a lot of tension that you carry in the car as well. So it just it kind of adds up and it makes you feel like you're doing a core exercise, I guess.
I'm not sure what I'm about to say holds any water, but I'm going to take a stab at this. I think most professional golfers on the PGA Tour could tell you the first time they broke 70. You remember the first time you hit 200 miles an hour? Is that an equivalent? Is that a fair comparison? I mean, were you 15, 17? How old were you?
Yeah, I'd have to think about it. I was probably 19 years old when I got into the Cup Series, which is our top racing series in NASCAR. And I just remember going to Michigan, and this sounds really funny, but they schedule an 8:30 in the morning practice session, and Michigan's one of the fastest tracks. So you get up, and that's kind of your morning coffee. It was my rookie year. I think I went 220 miles an hour into turn one. So it was kind of wild doing that early in the morning.
That's the double shot of espresso right there. William, what drew you to golf, and how's your game?
Yeah, it's funny. Like my dad would give me a hard time growing up. He's like, you don't have the patience for playing this game. I would get angry and maybe throw a club here and there. But I think as I grew older, it honestly takes me to a whole nother place mindset wise than racing does. And I love the competition of golf and competing against yourself. So I just love hitting a pure iron shot. And I mean, I probably hit balls 2 or 3 times a week. So,
wow. And how's your game?
I just enjoy it.
How's your game?
It's solid right now. I think I need to kind of work on my short irons, but
are we 80, mid 80s, 70s? Because the world wants to know.
I hover around like 82 right now.
Solid.
That's kind of my scoring average. So
solid
yeah,
game. By the way, you know who from your world loves golf and is a good player is Dale Jarrett.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I think he plays out in Arizona, I think, a little bit.
So we're all looking forward to Daytona, February the 15th. You have a chance to do something that has never been done, win 3 in a row. What is your sense of that sizable piece of history, William?
Daytona is unpredictable, so you just have to keep yourself in the race until the end. And that's always my mindset going there is try to stay in the hunt. And, if we're fortunate enough to be around at the end and have a shot to win it, it would definitely be amazing. So a little bit of pressure going into this year.